There we go. All right, you guys. So thank you so much, you all, for being here. Let's go ahead and take a moment. Please make sure right now that you get your blocks handy. So before we start our breath, let's have those blocks so that way it's just done and done. Okay, and let's get ourselves comfortable for our breath. Let your hands come to rest, palms face up. Thank you guys so much for making time. I appreciate it. Okay. Let your eyes gently close. And just take a moment to begin to connect into the body. Discover how it's feeling at this moment today. Please make whatever fidget you need to in order to get really comfy. And again, if you see me doing the little crazy thing like this, our fly, we have one fly that likes to live in here and he wants to do yoga too. All right. So take a moment to fidget. Take a moment to get comfortable. Take a moment as you continue to allow your body to breathe you to connect into your sits bones. Feel them ground into the earth, into the mat. And notice that as you observe the grounding of the sits bones, it also grounds the pelvis and the legs. And then from there, still allowing your body to breathe you, begin to connect with the lumbar spine above the pelvis. And just ever so slightly, allow your body to do gentle side-to-side movements. So all you're doing is ever so slight. And we're just beginning to find our spine and gently awakening the spine. And as you continue to allow your body to breathe you, feel the connection as the body continues to that beautiful side-to-side movement, feeling the shoulders relax, feeling the neck lengthen, and feeling the head come into neutral over the neck. And just feeling that gentle oscillation throughout the entire chain of your spine. And then when you feel connected to yourself, begin to change your breath, finding that full inhale and allowing it to come from the low belly. So you find that expansion through the low belly, then allow it to come into the solar plexus, and then finally above the heart, all the way up to below the collarbone. And then with your exhale, you'll allow the breath to release, starting from underneath the collarbone, moving down to the solar plexus, and then finally down to that low belly, and feel that low belly begin to activate through the core, through the trunk muscles, and gently squeeze to activate and wake up the center of your body. And then again, follow that inhale all the way up, coming from the low belly, all the way up to below the collarbone. If it feels appropriate with your breath, feel free to pause in the breath for 1 to 2 counts, and then find that exhale. And this time, When you reach the low belly and the exhale, squeeze through that low belly. Then also take a moment to find that right side of the trunk and squeeze those core muscles to the right, and then allow it to release. And again, following your breath, allowing that deep, full inhale, expanding through the front of the body, allowing it to move all the way up, pausing at the top, and then following that flow all the way back down. Again, gently squeezing through the core and the low belly at the end, letting that release. And now bringing awareness to the left side and gently finding that left side of the trunk and gentle squeeze on that left side. And then gently release, coming back to the breath. And if your body's still doing those little micro oscillations, that's fine. Allow them to do that. It's just a whole nother level of allowing your body to find what feels best. As you're continuing to follow the inhale, starting from the low belly, traveling up to below the collarbone, staying present during the pause, enjoying that moment of stillness before you allow everything to cascade down, coming from below the collarbone all the way back to the low belly. And follow that breath, ebb and flow back and forth. Go ahead and do 3 more full cycles of breath. So when I say full, I mean inhale and exhale. At the end of the 3rd cycle of breath, gently bring your hands over your heart, palms facing down. And when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and move into sound and tone. I invite you, as you feel the vibration of your voice, of the sound that you create, connect it to an elevated emotion, something that feels positive, whether that's a feeling of joy, gratitude, peace, love, whatever feels best for you. And let that vibration as you sing move through your entire body. At the end of the breath, singing the next breath in silence, please set your intent for your practice today, allowing this to be something that you most need and something that you most desire. So when you're ready, taking a deep inhale. And then when you're ready, gently release your hands back to palms facing up. Let your hands then float down by your sides, taking a deep breath of joy. Full deep inhale, lengthening all the way up, allowing the palms to touch. Exhale, drawing the hands down to the center, back to your heart. Thumbs pressed into the sternum at the heart point. Take another full cycle of breath. Inhale, exhale. And then gently release the hands. Let the corners of your mouth move upward towards a smile and eyes open softly. Thank you, you guys. Okay. Blocks. So what I want us to do is we're going to start. So basically what we're going to use the blocks for is to bring attention to the muscles that we're actually using or should be using as we make our movements, okay? Because a lot of times it's really easy, you guys, for like biceps and triceps that should be working, for them to go, I don't have to. These muscles are bigger up here. They'll do the work. And it's like, no, those guys need to work. So the first thing I want you to do is just bring your arms out horizontally, okay, so that they're parallel to the floor. And just simply begin by taking that right shoulder and drawing it just a little bit towards the center, okay? So you're following that inner edge of the shoulder blade and then allowing it to relax. Taking this left arm, drawing it in again, inner edge of the shoulder blade, and allowing it to relax, okay? And now we're gonna come up and we're gonna do the same thing. So notice that now our palms are facing up. So again, take a moment, and this is gonna feel different, you guys, because we're at a different angle. So there are different muscles that will be moving. Again, gently feel that inner edge of that right shoulder blade drawing in, and then let it release. And then the left shoulder blade gently drawing in, and let it release. Good. And then now turn palms down. Bring your hands down so that they're about 30 degrees away from your body. And now we're going to do the same thing. So start again with the right shoulder and gently squeeze. Hello, Barb. It's good to have you here. And let it relax. Take that right shoulder, squeeze, and let it, or excuse me, left shoulder, and let it relax. And then let the shoulders relax. And I want you to do some really big movements through the shoulders, just letting everything relax and release. Okay? Now we're going to do that same thing, but we're going to use our blocks. So here we go. And we're going to do this with palms facing up. So notice that instead of bringing my shoulders all the way up, I have my shoulders just a little bit below 90 degrees, because I want the biceps and the triceps to do the work. Okay? So again, starting with that right shoulder, gently draw it in. Oh. Good. And let it relax. Left shoulder, draw it in. And let it relax. And gently bring those arms up. Oh, yeah. Okay, if we got the shaky shakies right here and you're like, please don't ask me to draw my shoulder blades in, just stay here, okay? But if you feel like, no, I got a little more, we can do it. Draw that right shoulder blade in. Let it relax. Left shoulder blade in. Let it relax. Gently draw those arms down 30 degrees. Oh, yay. Right shoulder, squeeze in. Let it relax. Left shoulder, squeeze in. Oh, let it relax. Hold on to the blocks, turn the palms facing down and drop them. And let your shoulders relax. Oh, yes, exactly. Little bit of extra Yumminess, yumminess, joy, joy. Okay. How was that, you guys? Is that okay? All right. So please remember, it's not about, we're not concerned so much about the weight. We're concerned about, can we start making these muscles in here that are supposed to be doing the work, have them do the work. All right, so from here, what we're gonna do is, since we have blocks, or you may need a blanket, we're gonna do log in the fire pose, right? So what you're gonna do is this. You're gonna start with your right foot, okay? Let me back up so that everybody can see. You're gonna start with your right foot across, okay? And notice that my lower leg is fairly flat, or it's like fairly straight across. Find my language. Okay, left leg. Very lovingly, very gently, you're gonna bring it up and over, okay? Now, if this is one of those postures where your hips are going, she's doing it again, right? Like we did the other week when we did cow facing pose, then this is your variation. I want you to bring this left leg up so that it's upright, okay? If you bring it across and you just have some space, we have our handy dandy blocks. You can place your block in between, okay? If it's the block is a little too high, then you can take your blanket and bring your blanket down like that, okay? So we got lots of possibilities. Find what feels best, you guys. This is not about what looks pretty and what anybody else in class is doing. This is just about your body, okay? So here we go. From here, what you're gonna do is, just like we were practicing yesterday morning, rather than tipping our pelvis to the front, what I want you to feel is coming through the hips. So the pelvis stays in a fairly neutral position. And you're gonna come forward just enough so that you start to feel an opening. Some of you might feel an opening to the inside, so it actually feels like a little pressure up in your groin. Some of you might feel the pressure along the glutes. Some of you might feel the pressure around like the greater trochanter, the bony part of the hip that faces out, okay? It's all possible. And you might be feeling it in all three places. Go team, a trifecta, yay. A trifecta of good sensation. All right, no one's laughing at my jokes. It must be one of those days. Okay, so from here, you guys, just very gently, very slowly, find that really yummy space. And then I want you to come back to that really yummy breath that you had at the very beginning, right? And this time what I want you to focus on, please, is finding that space in between. So take that deep inhale. Pause for 1 to 2 counts. And then find that exhale. And then do it again. And then one more time. And then very gently, very slowly, bring your torso up. Take your hands. Left hand is going to come underneath the knee. Right hand is going to come around the foot. You're going to gently release that. Remove your blanket. Let your legs come out for a moment. Just kind of shake them a little bit. I like getting to see people's feet. Yay. And then let's try again. So this time, we're going to allow the left leg to come across in front. We're going to take this right leg very lovingly, bring it across. You want it far enough across so that the foot dangles off. Okay? And what you may find is that this side is a little bit open, or it might be a little bit tighter. If it's a little bit tighter, again, you have the option, slide that foot over and allow the knee to come up, you guys. This is a completely legitimate variation of the posture, so please do what your body is telling you to do. And again, if you need it, you have your block to place between. If that's too much, then you can place a little blanket. So, again, allowing the pelvis to stay fairly neutral. Begin to hinge through the hip until you begin to find that sensation, whether it is in the glute, whether it's around the hip bone, whether it's in the groin area. And it doesn't have to be a big movement, you guys. It's like if you moved 1 millimeter forward and your body goes, wow, okay, we're there. Great. You're 100% in the posture. Allow the shoulders to relax. Again, focus on the breath. So again, coming from that deep inhale, starting from the low belly. At the top of your breath, gently pause for 1 to 2 counts, finding and enjoying that stillness. And then as you exhale, find that release and that softening. And we'll do that twice more. So again, deep inhale. Pause. And then exhale. And then one more time, deep inhale. Pause. And exhale. And then very gently, very slowly, lots of loving kindness. Bring it up. Take the right hand underneath the knee, left hand around the foot. Gently release that. Remove your block or your blanket. Let the legs slide out, gentle love. Okay. All right. And now from here, we're going to do a little core work. So have your block, both of them. Okay. And let's slide down. So we're going to begin with the block in between our knees, all right? So you have 2 options here. Actually, you have an option. You can either do it in between your knees, or if it feels comfortable, you can place it in between the ankles. So if your legs are straight, you have a longer lever, okay? That's going to make it more difficult for your core. You want to make it a little bit easier for your core, bend the knees and do it from a position of the knees where hips are grounded, the back of the pelvis is grounded into the mat, and then you have a 90-degree angle between your hips and your knees. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to do, gently flexing into the feet, is coming from this 90-degree angle, and this is going to be just a small movement. As you exhale, I want you to bring your legs down only about 12 inches. That's it. Okay? And then inhale, draw the legs back to 90 degrees. And then again, when you're ready, exhale, gently bring it down about 12 inches. It's a small amount, you guys. And inhale, bring it back up. This next movement is going to be just as small. I want you to begin by squeezing through your glutes. You may need to bring your arms out a little bit more towards T formation, so straight out from the shoulders. When you're ready, deep inhale. And then as you exhale, I want you to gently roll onto that right hip, only coming over about 12 inches. And then inhale. Bring it back up. Pause, and then when you're ready, deep inhale, exhale, using that core, roll gently onto that left hip, going over about 12 inches. And then inhale, bringing it back. We're going to do one more round. So when you're ready, deep inhale. Exhale, rolling over onto that right hip about 12 inches. Small movements, you guys. Inhale, bring it back up. And then exhale, roll it over to the left. 12 inches. And then inhale, bring it back up. Bend into the knees so that you can take the block with your hands. Okay? Now, take a gentle pause for just a moment. Oops, hello. I want you to take your hands to the low belly. I'm just going to let everything relax for a moment. As you inhale, I want you to feel the front of that low belly expand. And as it expands, I want you to feel how it gently pulls that lumbar spine up with it. Then when you're ready, as you exhale, drawing in, as you draw in, and you use that core, feel how that helps to reground the spine. And again, deep inhale. Notice how that deep inhale gently creates the arch. Exhale. End of the exhale, gently draw up and in through that core. Grounding the spine. One more time. Deep inhale. Feel the expansion through the front and notice how the lumbar spine follows. And then exhale, gently drawing back in and feeling the spine ground into the mat. All right. Then coming from a place of neutral, this time we're going to use both blocks. So I want you to take one block and you're going to place it in between the knees so that your knees have something to, your legs have something to hold on to. There can be, you can either bring the heels close to the sits bones or you can scoot the feet further away. It's really up to you and what feels best. Okay? So please do what feels best for your body. Second block, you're going to take it so that it's wide waist in between your hands. You have the bottom cupped underneath on the base of the palm, fingertips along by the side. Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is allow the weight of the block to gently re-ground the back of the shoulder blades into the mat while you're still activating through the arms. Then what I want you to do is gently coming from the shoulders, draw the shoulders forward. So you're protracting the shoulders. You're bringing them around the sides and bringing them to the front. And then exhale. Feel the shoulders ease back so that once again they're regrounded. One more time. As you exhale, gently coming from the shoulders. So you're not pushing through your hands at all. This is all shoulder movement. Shoulders are rolling forward. And then exhale. Gently feel them recede and reground. So deep inhale from this neutral place where you're grounded through the shoulders. And then exhale. You are not going to allow the block to come to the floor, and you're gently going to use your entire exhale to work on bringing the block above the head. Inhale. Bring the block all the way back up. Okay. This time, we're going to move to the right. So you're going to keep the lower torso grounded and stable. You're going to allow the twist to happen through the rib cage. So it's a deep inhale. Exhale, gently rolling onto the right shoulders. Again, the block will hover. And then inhale. Bring it all the way back up. Check to make sure that you can feel the back of the shoulder blade rounded into the mat. Then when you're ready, deep inhale, activating through the arms. Exhale. This time roll on to the left shoulder. Again, the block is hovering. And then inhale, bring it back up. Again, we're going to bring the block over the head. This time we're going to allow it to pause. So deep inhale. Feel the shoulder blades ground into the mat. Exhale, gently, slowly bring that block all the way up and over. No matter where you are at the end of the exhale, just simply pause. Another deep inhale. Another deep exhale. You can use your Ujjayi breath here. It's a great place to do that. And then with the next inhale, slowly, gently bring that block all the way back up. Exhale, pause. Inhale, prep. Feel the back of the shoulder blades ground. Exhale. Gently roll onto that right shoulder. This time I want you to practice squeezing through that right side of the glute, maybe across through the front. So you've got another inhale, another exhale. You're just holding, isometrically working your body, and then inhale. Bring it all the way back up. Exhale, pause. Inhale, set your body up. And then exhale, gently roll yourself onto your left side. Another inhale while you're here. Squeeze through this left side of the core. And then when you're ready, inhale. Bring it all the way back up. Exhale, pause. Bend into the elbows, release the block. Bring it over to the side. Draw the block in between the knees up. Release that. Gently draw the knees high into the chest. Give yourself a gentle hug, energy-freeing pose. Okay, from here we're going to do one more hip opener. So you're going to bring your legs up. We're going to move ourselves into eye of the needle pose. So I want you to bend into that knee on the right side. Bring it across so that it becomes a version of a 4. Your right hand is going to go through on the hole, left hand on the outside. If knee flexion is an issue, please clasp behind the thigh right by the knee. If that's not an issue, you can interlace your fingers just below the kneecap. So just pay really close attention to what your body is telling you it needs. And again, just as we did when we were sitting, we're now again looking for sensation. So please remember that we're focusing the sensation on a feeling like a stretch that feels good, as if you were stretching like a cat. And then breathe. Find that space where it just feels really yummy. If it's appropriate, you can pause at the top of the breath. Two more cycles of breath right here. If it feels appropriate, you can gently draw that left knee a little bit closer towards your face. Just really paying attention to what feels good in your system today. And the second breath, gently release. You're going to unclasp your hands first. Straighten into that left leg. Again, right hand comes to the knee, left hand comes to the air outside of the foot. Gently release, both legs up. Bending into the left leg, bringing it across. This time, left hand goes through the hole, right hand comes round. Again, same thing for the knees, if you need to. Behind the thigh, right above the knee. Otherwise, interlace the fingers just below the kneecap. Find that space where it feels really yummy. A lot of times we get into these smaller areas and it's like, wow, I didn't even know I was tight. So just breathe. Love your body. Sometimes we may go in a little bit fast and the feeling that started out feeling good will get overwhelming. So just back yourself out a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. What you're looking for is that sensation of feeling good. If your body says yes, you can bring that right knee in a little bit closer to your face. One more cycle of breath. And then gently, slowly release. Release the hands, straighten that right leg. Again, you're going to take your right hand around to the outside of the left foot, left hand at the knee, gently release the legs. From here, I want you with your legs up in the air at 90 degrees. Inhale, bring those arms up over your head. Gently inhale and feel a gentle arch come in the spine as the arms are up overhead, slightly wider than shoulder width, and just stretch. Really feel that opening. And then gently release, bend into the knees. You're going to roll onto whichever side feels good. And then gently press yourself up. Okay. How are we doing, you guys? Feel good? Okay. All right. So remember me telling you about this thing that I was playing with? We are now to the thing that I was playing with. All right. So what started all of this was the question of whether or not you could use yoga poses to help in rehabilitation for shoulder injuries. And guess what? There is new study and evidence that says yes, but you need to work really mindfully. So this is our way of working really mindfully. So I'm going to demonstrate what it is that we're going to do, all right? And then we'll do it all together. And then your second round, I'm not going to participate. I'm just going to watch you guys. So this is my way of trying to get everybody to slow down, because it's really easy to go, oh yeah, I'm being really slow, but maybe you're not, okay? So here's what we're doing. You're going to place a block to the front, and then you're going to place a block. This is the fun part. So what you do here is you get yourself all set up as if you were going to be in child's pose. If child's pose is not a possibility, then you're going to go ahead and start right here in tabletop, okay? So it all depends on what your knees allow you to do. You have two different ways that you can put your block. You can place your block on your back so that it is long waist. This is going to make it a little bit easier. If you want to do something that's a little bit more advanced, you put it across your back, okay? So you start here in child's pose. So the trick here is that you're going to make all of your movements and the block is going to stay in its spot. So this is a little bit of a vinyasa. So your arms are stretched out. You're going to inhale, bringing yourself into tabletop. You're going to exhale as if you were doing from high plank to low plank. So you're going to exhale, bend through the elbows. And you are going to allow your forehead to touch the block. Inhale, bring it up. Now you're going to do one leg at a time. You're going to lengthen, curling underneath the toes of the right leg, lengthen, curling underneath the toes of the left leg. So now we're in high plank. From here, you're going to very gently, you're going to have to use your core here. Push back, making sure that your feet are hip distance apart. Push yourself back into downward facing dog. Then you can bend into your knees as much as you need to. Notice that my block is still where it is supposed to be. And then from here, you're going to gently, slowly bring yourselves back into plank. Bend into your knees, tabletop. And if your body allows, come back, child's pose. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. Go, you guys. Are you ready? All right, so starting with our blocks, making sure that you are comfortable either in child's pose or starting in tabletop. So please do what feels best for you. You're going to take a deep inhale, and very slowly as you inhale, you're going to draw yourself up into tabletop. And I want you to pay attention to the sensation of the block on the low back. It's there to help keep stability. So if it starts to feel like it's going to wiggle and wobble, squeeze your glutes a little bit. Take a deep full inhale, and then when you're ready, exhale, gently bend into those elbows and allow the forehead to touch the block. Inhale, press down, so that once again you're in tabletop. From here, lengthen into the right leg by curling underneath the right toes. Lengthen into the left leg by curling underneath the left toes. You're now in full plank. Breathe. Squeeze through the core and squeeze the glutes. Gently, slowly, press down through the ball of the feet, squeezing through the glutes, lengthening and pressing down through the arms to bring yourself into downward facing dog. Your knees are bent as much as they need to be. Beautiful, you guys. Inhale, squeeze through the core, squeeze through the glutes, gently bringing yourself back out, back to plank. Bend into the right knee, bend into the left knee. Exhale, ever so slowly. Take yourself back to tabletop or back to extended child's pose. Breathe and let everything soften. Okay, we're gonna do this again. So when you're ready, I want you to take a deep inhale and bring yourself into tabletop. There you go, beautiful. Look at you go, you guys. Awesome. From there, exhale, bending through the elbows, gently touch the head to the block. There you go, good. Nice. Inhale, press down through the hands and bring yourself back up. Oh, squeeze through those glutes and that core. That's your assist. From here, lengthen into the right leg, curl underneath the right toes. Beautiful. Lengthen into the left leg, curl underneath those toes. Nice. Look at you go. Squeeze through your glutes and squeeze through your core. From here, if your body says yes, press yourself back and into downward facing dog. Oh, look at you go. Bend into those knees as much as you need to. One breath. Bring yourself very gently, slowly back into plank. Oh, good. Bend into the right knee, bring it down. Bend into the left knee, bring it down. Nice. And gently bring yourself back into extended child's pose. Oh, ladies, man, you rocked it. That's gorgeous. Beautiful, you guys. So nice. When you want, you can remove your block. Up, up, up. All right, come on up. Okay, how did that feel? Was that okay for everybody? Yes? Okay, good. Awesome, awesome. All right, so from here, we're gonna do a little bit of standing and we're gonna use our blocks again, okay? So, grab your blocks. This time I also want you to grab your chair. So I'm gonna adjust the camera while you guys get your props. All right, are we good? Checking, making sure everybody's got their chairs. All righty, beautiful, you guys. Okay, so we're gonna start with 2 blocks on our chair seat. Okay. All right. Begin by your left leg stepping forward, okay, and your right leg, it may need to be out to the side, but back. And what we're looking for is for both hips to be facing towards your chair, okay? All right. From here, you're going to place your hands on top of the blocks, right? So just take a moment and just kind of finagle back and forth through the hips for a moment. Make whatever adjustments you need to in order to get really comfortable. I want you guys to be able to feel your pelvis move. So your pelvis should have a range of motion here, okay? All right, so from here, you're going to take your blocks, bring them down by the side, okay? And then turn them so that the palms are face up. See if you can hold the block without gripping the sides. If you need to grip the sides, that's fine. So from here, you're going to bring your arms out to the side and then inhale and bring them up. As you exhale, I want you to bend into that left leg. So all we're doing is just finding warrior 1. Beautiful, you guys, it's awesome. Breathe. Next breath. As you exhale, I want you to straighten into that left leg. Arms are going to come down, so I'm bending at the elbows, bringing the blocks in. You're going to turn the blocks so that they face towards each other. You may have to hold on with thumb and pinky so that then you can turn the blocks behind, okay? So now we're lifting, there you go. When you're ready, as you exhale, holding the blocks in this direction, begin to hinge through the hips. Breathe. And again, you're only going as far as you need to until you can feel a stretch through the middle of the left hamstring. If you feel it up in the sits bones or you feel it below the knee, you're folding too far forward. From here, you're going to inhale, bring that torso up, thumb and pinky on the block, bend into the elbows, bring it forward, come back. So now we're again facing front. Beautiful, you guys. Okay, straighten through the torso, bend into this left leg, And what I want you to do now is you're going to do a little balance. I want you to step that right foot back and out so that now you're facing this way. Beautiful, you guys. Arms come out, lower than shoulder height. Beautiful, you guys. When you're ready, exhale, bend into that left leg again. Deep, full breath. From here, thumb and pinky on the right block. Turn it so that it faces down and drop it so that it rests against that right thigh. Thumb and pinky on the left. Inhale. Sweep that left arm up. Gaze comes up towards the ceiling. Beautiful, you guys. Awesome. Breathe deeply into that left side. Release. Thumb and pinky on the left. Inhale. Right arm up. Turn the palm up. Okay, this is the fun part. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to bring this right hand over to the left, palms up. Take a moment, step as many times as you need to get comfortable through that right leg. Hinge again. Lightly place the blocks back down onto the seat. Let the hands come back to the top. Step forward so that now you're going to rearrange your feet so that you are about 3 feet. And just let the forearms be on the block and hang for a moment. Breathe deeply. So all we're doing is we're giving ourselves another variation of downward facing dog, this time without being so deep. You can put as much bend into the knees here as you need to, but we're just taking a moment and letting our body absorb what it is that we've done. From here, shift the gaze in between the hands. Gently walk the feet up. Release the hands, come back to standing. Take a deep full, so gentle sway, gentle compression through the lumbar spine. Inhale, big breath of joy up. Palms touch, exhale. Thumbs come to the sternum at the heart center. Breathe. And here we go. Now we get to move I'm going to move the chair just so that you guys can see, but now we're going to get ready to do the other side. Okay. So this time, right foot is forward, left foot is back. Okay. All right, we got that? Bend into the knee as much as you need to. Let your hands come to rest on the blocks. And just take a breath here to find the hip rotation on this side. So I want you to notice how it feels with the left hip down, coming back to center, and then how it feels with the right hip down. Let it flow back to center until it flows into the left hip down. Coming back to center. Flowing over so that the right hip is down. Coming back to center. Left hip down. Coming back to center. Okay. All right, you guys. So again, from that side to side motion, take a moment to release. Make sure that the hips are facing the chair in this direction. Palms are on the top of the block. Thumb and pinky finger hold. Come down by the sides, torso up. Turn the palms facing up and see if you can hold without thumb and pinky. Inhale, arms up. Wider than shoulder width. Exhale, bend into that right leg. Squeeze through that left glute. Find that opening. Feel the shoulder blades drop. Hug the muscle to the bone through the bicep and the tricep. Breathe. With the next exhale, gently straighten into that right leg. Let the arms come forward and down. When you get them to about, 30 degrees, bend into the elbows. Thumb and pinkies come around. Turn the blocks to face you so that then you can now bring them behind. Palms facing up, arms are behind. And then when you're ready, exhale, gently hinge. Again, this is not about having a big movement. Okay, that sounded a little weird. Instead, I want you to focus on where you're feeling the posture. It's a great opportunity to ask your triceps to wake up. Make sure that as you're hinging forward, you're feeling the opening through the center of the hamstring, not behind the knee, not up at the sits bone. Inhale, bring the torso back up. See if you can still hold with the arms behind. Thumb and pinky, hold on to the blocks. Bend into the elbows, bring them forward. Bending through the elbows, let them rest as if you're holding two pies. What I want you to do next is come forward a little bit so that you can get light through that left leg, and then step that left leg back. Open the torso so that you're now facing the screen or facing me. Okay? All right. Gently, slowly, bring the blocks out. Arms are slightly lower than shoulder height. Exhale, bend into that right knee. If you choose, you can shift your gaze over that right hand. Beautiful, you guys. Take a moment to notice. If it's shaking, that's fine. Keep breathing. You're going to now take that left block, thumb and finger, turn it down and drop it so that it's resting against the thigh. Thumb and finger on the right block. Inhale. Bring it up. Find that opening. Breathe. Exhale. Allow the right arm to come back down. Left arm, palm comes back to face up. Breathe. Beautiful, you guys. All right. Here's the fun part. Left arm comes forward, sweeps it around. If you need to, bend into the knees a little bit. Bend into the knees. Gently step yourself forward. There we go. Now, step that right foot back. We're doing this side a little bit differently. As long as it feels good, I want you to squeeze through the glutes. Allow the arms to extend. Hinge through the hips. So we're doing this with the flat back. Slide the blocks back onto the chair. Forearms come back onto the blocks. And readjust feet so that you can find that extension into a gentle variation of downward facing dog. And breathe. Let everything relax. Let everything soften. If it feels comfortable to open a little bit more deeply through the shoulders so that you can begin to find opening a little bit in the armpits, that's great. Not required. And then very gently, head comes up, feet come forward. Release the blocks, deep, full inhale, big breath of joy. Exhale, bring it down to the sternum and the heart point. And then gently, slowly release and come back. All right, you guys, how are we feeling? How was that? Yes? No? Good? All right. Okay, guess what? We get to come down back onto our mats. Yay! Okay, Keep your chair handy. And keep your blocks handy. All right, you guys. So we're going to come back to playing with movement through the pelvis to help with the low back. So we're going to, again, have our block. We're going to go ahead and roll ourselves back down. Take the block and once again place it in between the knees so that you have something to hold on to. And one more time, we're going to take 3 cycles of breath. And I want you to feel the inhale and how the lumbar spine follows the inhale. And then I want you to exhale, and I want you to notice how the lumbar spine follows the exhale. Do that twice more. Okay, so now we're going to get to practice with our bridge. So, Sept Sarvangasana. The first thing you're going to do, as is comfortable, is work to bring the heels as close to the sits bones as feels appropriate. Block goes in between the knees. Now you've given your legs a gentle action to keep. Gentle squeeze through the glutes. Now notice that if we didn't have the block, if you squeeze through the glutes, because you are pushing in, it tends to push the hip joint out. So it tends to push the upper legs out a little bit. So what we're doing is we're just creating a little bit of isometric work by having the block in between our legs. So what I want you to do is just simply, again, we're going to play with the pelvis. So what I want you to do once you have the block in between the legs is feel that tailbone gently pull up towards the ceiling a little bit. Then you're going to take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, engaging through your core, squeeze through the glutes a little bit and gently lift the pelvis up and off the mat. This does not need to be a big movement. If you're feeling this through the quadriceps, go team. All we're doing is a little bit of isometric high. We're going to wake up the muscles. And then when you're ready, on the exhale, gently, slowly lower the pelvis back down to the mat. Release the glutes, release the legs. And if your body wants to do just a gentle oscillation side to side, that's great. All we're doing is rebooting our neuromuscular net. Like, wake up. This is part. So sometimes the brain and the body forget to work together. We're just reminding them that it works better if they work together. So again, we're going to do this again. So begin first, just gently press that upper posterior part of the pelvis back, then squeeze through the glutes. That way, that allows the coccyx and the bottom of the sacrum to come up a little bit pointed more towards the ceiling. So then squeeze through the glutes, which will fire the quadriceps. So fire those quadriceps. When you're ready, deep inhale. Exhale. Again, very gently bring that pelvis up and off the ground. You should also feel very grounded through the soles of the feet. While you're here, I want you to practice your breath. So again, we're only about 2 inches off the ground, you guys. This is not a big movement. Just very small, very isolated. Really focusing on making the muscles wake up. And then exhale, gently, slowly, as slow as you can, bring that back side of the pelvis gently back down onto the mat. Allow the glutes to relax, along the quadriceps to relax. And if your body wants to do a gentle side-side oscillation, allow it to do the oscillating. Again, that gentle oscillation is just another way to get all those little brain connections to start working and connecting between your body and your brain. Beautiful, you guys. Okay, we're going to do this one more time. So again, feel that pelvis, sacrum and the coccyx tip up towards the ceiling, the upper posterior part of the pelvis round into the mat, squeeze in through the glutes, squeeze in through the quads, gently lift. This time, if your body wants to do a slightly larger movement because things have opened up and they're now firing, that's fine. Follow what your body is able to give. Please make sure that this is feeling good, even as your body is working into it. Should never be painful. A little bit of a challenge, yes, but should never be painful. And then very gently, very slowly, bring the back down as close to one vertebrae as you can. Once the entire sacrum and back of pelvis is on the mat, release the glutes, release the quads. This time, take the block, release the block. Lengthen into your legs for a moment. As long as that's comfortable. If it's not comfortable, please put a bolster or something underneath your legs and just feel the change in your body. Slow, steady breath. One more cycle. Okay, we have two more parts to this set. Again, I want you to bring your knees up, feet on the floor. This time we're going to place our blocks underneath the sacrum. So this upper edge of the block is going to come in line with the two dimples on your sacrum. It's a little bit like connect the dots. So just like we did before, begin by tipping that lower part of the pelvis up, sacrum and coccyx. Feel that press down up at the posterior top of pelvis. Squeeze so that you can gently lift. And you're going to bring the block so that that upper edge gently rests on the sacrum. From here, you can either keep your knees bent and enjoy a restorative bridge, or if you want to bring your legs up, you can take this into a restorative shoulder stand. So just take what feels comfortable. And if your body still wants to oscillate a little bit, that's fine. Please make sure that you're not putting any undue pressure through the neck or the top of the head. Everything should feel really yummy. If you want to close your eyes and just kind of just sink into this to really allow it to be restful, this all we're doing is just creating an inversion, which is really powerful for your body. Inversions are great. They bring a lot of blood back into the brain. I have heard it said that within the yoga tradition, that this was the way to keep yourself young, to invert, to let the blood flush the brain. take 2 more cycles of breath right here. Beautiful, you guys. Good. Somebody's doing circles. I love the circles with the ankles. So just do what feels best for you. Beautiful, you guys. All right, from here, if you're having a really good time here and you would like to stay here, you're welcome to stay. If you'd like to open a little bit more deeply into the trunk, you're going to bend your knees and slowly come down 1 leg at a time. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to very gently begin to open in the trunk. So you're going to start with that right leg first and just lengthen gently into that right leg. Oh. What we're doing is we're connecting into our iliopsoas. So because we sit so much, this little muscle can tend to get tight. It is a major hip flexor. And it also plays a part in low back pain. So if we can keep this very deep muscle happy, it's going to go a long way to keeping the other body parts happy. So again, remembering that you're taking yourself into this slowly, you're taking yourself into this in a way that feels really good and constructive. Something that builds good, positive muscle memory. Following your breath, low, slow, steady breath. One more cycle of breath right here. And then when you're ready, gently bend into that right knee, coming back up. And when you're ready, gently lengthen into that left leg. Take a moment as you're here to notice that there is a difference between the 2 sides. Sometimes we have imbalance that comes all the way from deep inside. And then the imbalance just continues to the outside. Just breathe, let everything soften. Making sure that you're in a space that feels really comfortable. Continuing to use your full diaphragmatic breath from this place. One more cycle of breath. And then very gently bend into the knee. All right, from here, if your legs are still up, gently bend into them. I want you to find, again, some lift. So you're going to begin by using your core, squeezing into those glutes and the quadriceps, pressing down through the feet so that you can safely remove the block. Then very gently, very slowly roll that spine back down. And then draw one knee into the chest, the second knee into the chest. This time I want you to allow the knees to separate. I want you to allow the feet to gently work their way together. Hands are going to come to rest towards the ankles. It can also come to the shins. Just take your hands to a place on your legs that feels good. Breathe. Feeling everything release, feeling everything soften. From here, I want you to go into whatever you are being called to do for your final Savasana. Whether it's legs on the seat of the chair, whether it's bolstering underneath the knees and taking a more traditional Savasana pose, please do what feels best for you. Take whatever props you need in order to make it work, whether it is eye bags, blankets, bolsters, or your chair. When you have found that space, allow your hands to come to rest a little bit away from the sides, palms facing up. Do whatever fidget you need to in order to make sure that you are equal and well grounded. Allowing your eyes to close, allowing your body to soften. And begin to notice the change in your body that you've created by simply giving yourself 75 minutes to focus on your breath, 75 minutes to focus on the sensations of you, 75 minutes to be mindful with your movement. Take a moment to say thank you to your body and your breath for bringing you through your practice. And then allow the breath to ease so that once again your body breathes you. No adjustment to the breath, just simply allow the body to do its job, taking it back to the autonomic nervous system. Gently, slowly, begin to find your way back, fingers and toes, letting them move, hands and feet, allowing them to move. And then bring that awareness back into all parts of your body, back into your breath by taking a full deep inhale and exhale through the nose. And then if you choose, use that breath to bring your arms up over your head to stretch, lengthening fingertips to toes, bones to skin. Draw your knees high into your chest. Give yourself a gentle hug. And then gently roll yourself over to the side. Press yourself up. Let your hands come to your heart one last time, thumbs against the sternum at the heart point. Guys, thank you so profoundly much. So grateful. I honor the divine in you, that is the divine in me, that is the divine in all of us. Namaste, and may the blessings be. Thanks, you guys. All right, you guys, here we go. So I'm going to invite you to unmute yourselves. There we go. So